When someone grows up in the public eye, curiosity naturally follows. Especially when that person is a future queen. For years, people have wondered about Princess Leonor's personal life, friendships, growing up, and, of course, the question many royal watchers eventually ask. What about love? Could Princess Leonor one day experience first love like anyone else? And how different might that experience feel when privacy is limited and public attention follows almost everywhere? Today, we're exploring something fascinating. Not rumors, not assumptions, but the reality of what growing up, relationships, and public attention may look like for someone preparing for an extraordinary future. Because perhaps the real story is not about headlines, but about how different growing up can feel when the world is watching. Let's explore. First love is a universal experience. Almost everyone remembers first love. The excitement, the uncertainty, the nervous moments, the new emotions. Growing up often includes experiences that shape how people understand themselves. And perhaps one thing feels universal. No matter who someone is, relationships can become an important part of learning and growing. For Princess Leonor, people naturally wonder what balancing ordinary experiences with extraordinary visibility may someday look like. Because maybe one truth matters. Even public figures still experience life stages familiar to many people. Public attention changes everything. Here's something worth thinking about. For most people, relationships remain private, quiet, personal, free from headlines. But public figures often experience something very different. Speculation, online discussion, media attention, constant curiosity. Perhaps one unique challenge for Princess Leonor is learning how to maintain privacy while growing up in public view. Because maybe one truth quietly follows public life. The more visible someone becomes, the harder personal boundaries may feel to protect. And perhaps that alone makes ordinary experiences feel more complicated. The importance of privacy. One thing often forgotten in conversations like this is something deeply important. Privacy matters, especially during young adulthood, friendships, personal growth, relationships, learning who someone is. Those moments often happen best away from constant attention. Perhaps one meaningful challenge for public figures is protecting enough private space to simply grow. Because maybe one truth feels universal. Everyone deserves room to experience life personally. Without pressure, without judgment, without constant observation. King Felipe and Queen Letizia may understand the importance of balance. Here's something interesting to consider. Perhaps King Felipe and Queen Letizia understand the importance of balance deeply. Responsibility matters, preparation matters, but so does growing into adulthood naturally. Education, personal development, ordinary experiences, meaningful relationships. Perhaps one important part of Princess Leonor's future includes finding healthy balance between public duty and personal life. Because maybe one truth matters most. People grow best when responsibility exists alongside personal well-being. Why people are so curious about royal romance. Royal stories have always fascinated people. Future queens, future kings, historic traditions, public interest, relationships naturally become part of that curiosity. But perhaps the deeper reason people care feels surprisingly simple. People connect with stories about growing up, identity, family, the future. Because maybe one truth feels relatable. Everyone understands the excitement and uncertainty that come with growing into adulthood. Even if circumstances look very different, the future may look different than people expect. Here's another interesting possibility. What if Princess Leonor's story ends up looking very different from speculation? Sometimes public expectations never match reality. Life changes, people grow, unexpected chapters happen. Because maybe one truth about the future matters. No one fully knows what life will bring. And perhaps that uncertainty makes stories like this so interesting. The human side people sometimes forget. Sometimes people focus only on titles. Princess, future queen, royal responsibility, tradition. But beneath all of that still exists something deeply ordinary. A young person growing up, learning, building confidence, discovering what matters. And perhaps one relatable truth feels impossible to ignore. Growing into adulthood can feel complicated for everyone, even when someone's future looks extraordinary. So, what is the real story behind curiosity about Princess Leonor's first love? Perhaps the more interesting question isn't about rumors, but about how someone grows, builds relationships, and balances privacy while living in the public eye. Because maybe one truth matters most. No matter how extraordinary life appears, growing up remains a deeply human experience. What do you think? Should public figures like Princess Leonor have more privacy when it comes to personal life? Or is public curiosity simply part of royal life? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more royal stories, fascinating discussions, and royal updates.